Your kids are also much more about the collective side of the story. I see them, I meet them everywhere. They are strong Americans and strong Palestinians. They don't hide away, they don't shy away. Heck, we just had Dream and the MC, I forgot her name. You see the personalities and the ability. I think we are right. We are absolutely right. We need the following to really help each other. Help each other. Number one, I am so proud and delighted that we have مركز الجالية الفلسطينية الأمريكية, the Palestinian American Community Center. What an achievement! What an achievement! But I want to swap. Can I bring the embassy here and you go to Washington? What an achievement! Really, do not underestimate the power of such a community being able to collectively bring such a premise and such a space, common space together. But for us to be able to succeed together, we need unity in this country. Unity of us. It's good that I was so touched that دردبوان ومخماس ومين كمان وترمس عيا بحبهم هدول كثير وانا عشت سنين يعني اهلي بس كل هدول لازم يجوا بالمعنى السياسي. If you really want to do the political sphere, the political war, the war of words, we have to find a way to speak in one voice. One voice. If I want to show my muscles in the Congress, I need one individual. It doesn't matter about him, but I can say he represents one of every 20 Palestinians. Do you know that one of every 20 Palestinians worldwide is American? Is American. I needed that. When I arrived, I was looking for that figure. Not as a person, but I wanted to go and show off. You know, show off. So, but, you know, we have a strong community all over. I don't have that person, and we don't have that institution. I think we should work for it, all of us, even if it takes time. But we must learn from our experiences. Unity is key. Unity does not mean being identical. Unity does not mean we have to agree with each other. Unity means one thing, that we agree how to disagree. That's it. That's it. And we respect our disagreement. We can disagree, we can. But when it comes to the others, we speak in one voice. When it comes to the lobbies, I spend 3 months in the Congress alone. Alone. Up against what? Up against who? Shall I list you the names of organizations? This brings me to the second thing we need after unity. A new invention called organizations. There is no other formula. There is no other formula but organizations. And you've done it. You've done it wonderfully. Everywhere I go. But now we might want to bring our organization one step up to focus on the collective political interest of all Palestinians in America. And thirdly, something that is crucial in my opinion. Strategizing, because we cannot do everything. We don't have the same resources others have. We don't have the hundreds of millions. We don't. But strategizing, and we're going to your home in Miami to strategize. Strategizing is what will enable us to use our resources in the most effective way possible. And I'm not telling you all this as a way of being in the theoretical arena. I'm telling all this because I want you to be prepared for the journey. This is our intention. Our intention is to help each other. Because, okay, I am proud to represent all of you. And I assure you, it will remain to be your united voice. But I need your help. We cannot do it on our own. The wind coming our way is huge. In the Congress over the last 3-4 months, the whole discussion was we should cut our assistance to the families of our prisoners and those who lose their lives. We will not cut a penny from those families. Not a penny. Not a penny. I told this to every senator, including the chairman of the Foreign Relations Committee. I said this to the White House and to the State Department, and I know I'm live. Our commitment to our people comes before anything else. Keep your money. But do you know that we are paying a heavy price and there is a bill against us because we're doing the wrong thing? No, we're not doing the wrong thing. By supporting the families of the victims of the occupation, we are not doing the wrong thing, we are doing the right thing. So why are we being penalized? Because there are organizations that want us to be penalized. There are people who want us to be framed all the time. Being in the reaction as opposed to being proactive. Being branded. It's about time, Jamil. It's about time that we stand together and do something about this, in my opinion. And I might have gone a bit longer than expected, but I'll end with this. It's been 4 months almost, and it feels for me a long time, because it's intense, it's immense, the task and the mission, and how vast and diverse this country is. But I have to say from my heart that this is the biggest honor I have received in my life. To represent Palestine and represent you particularly, that segment of Palestine. Everywhere I go, I see opportunities. I see cracks in the wall. I see your new kids. One of them just came to Washington by the name of Ammar Kampa. And he's running for Congress. He's from California. And he received the full support of the community. Many of our kids now, and I've just heard the list of our community here, who is part of the municipality, part of the mayorship. We have a deputy mayor here, and we respect you, sir, for serving this country and serving your community. Thank you very much. I just see that the wheels of history are definitely going in our way, but they will not go on our way on their own. They need a bit of help and a bit of determination, a bit of energy, a bit of push. We have one promise for you. We have all the intention to be one of you, to extend our hands and our hearts, and to eat knafi afterwards. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Your Excellency. At this moment, we'd like to have some interaction with you. So if you wouldn't mind giving us some more of your time. I'd like to take questions at this time, so please prepare your questions. But before we take questions, maybe if I may, can I ask a question of my own? So when I introduced you, I said I don't envy your position in Washington, D.C. I don't think anybody envies your position in Washington, D.C. during this administration, who has proven to be an opponent to our people in Palestine, and an opponent to human rights, and an opponent to so many other minorities throughout this country and around the world. And so, while I respect your optimism, I'm just wondering, and I'm curious, as I'm sure many here are as well, how do you keep yourself going, knowing who you're up against? I mean, the Trump administration is not an easy administration to handle. So how do you keep yourself going when you wake up in the morning and you know Trump is the guy sitting in the White House, not somebody else? So if you may just address that, because we haven't really touched on that yet. Thank you.
Well, regardless of our agreement or disagreement about President Trump, I had the privilege of meeting the man a couple of times, and I'll be seeing him in 3 days' time with President Abbas. Regardless of all that, my optimism has nothing to do with the situation here. My optimism has to do with my grandmother. Seriously. And with a nation that was able to withstand what was meant to be almost total annihilation. The plan in the 20s and the 30s was we will be gone, totally gone. But we are a hell of a society in terms of our culture, civilization, tolerance, roots, values, principles, traditions. You know how much accumulation of traditions we have. And my source of optimism that our collective investment in the human side of the story, like yours, has enabled us as a nation to withstand, to sustain sheer pressure We were not meant to be. كان لازم نخلص يعني. And look at us. Look at the map of Palestine. Imagine the map of Palestine here. Look from the very north of Palestine, historic Palestine, to the very south. Will you find one spot that doesn't have Palestinians in it? No, you won't. From the very north, Fassuta, all the way to Rafah. Palestinians are all over. Okay, we have political issues. We are under political pressure. We have economic issues. We have security issues. We are under attack all the time. But we have got no existential issues. We are in our land. And it's much easier for us to live in our land. It doesn't take much. It comes effortless, without efforts. It takes much more efforts by people who don't belong to the land. You know how much it's cost to sustain one settler in the West Bank with the barbed wires and the infrastructure and the protection? Our kids walk barefooted in the streets because we belong to the land. We are part of the land, and the land is ours. My optimism is not about a president comes and a president goes. My optimism is about this collective strength of the Palestinians. And we have gone through so much. But we have won the political argument. What's your name? Name me one country on the face of earth that would challenge your political aspirations and statehood. You've just seen a few months ago when we went to the UN Security Council, even America had to abstain, which means they voted with us. We have won the legal argument. Now they are scared if we go to the ICC because they know the results. We have won the moral argument. Go anywhere in the world about the morality of the situation. The only thing we have been losing is the material side of the story. What do I mean by the material? Their ability materially to enforce by military, economics, things on the ground. Now I don't think materialism can live on its own for a long period of time. Ask so many other empires and occupations.